one more day or have another day to make a decision like that, rest in that, take a nap, come from whatever emotional turmoil or decisions you feel like you want to make, and just kind of weigh it out a little bit more, because people are not going to love you like, even moms who bear their kids have struggled with loving their child. But it's just something different when you carry and deliver. That type of endurance creates a bond between the child and and I've never heard a situation where there was a mother and father who did decide to put their kid up for adoption. Like, because if the foundation is secure, you would think that they can get through it together. And so for people that have experienced what you experienced, do you have any advice to give to them?
Just keep fighting. Never shut up. Tell everybody. Tell the teacher. Tell whoever. That was our mistake. We kept trying to go to our caseworker. When we finally did tell anybody, Marquise told a teacher at school, and that teacher called the police, and that police called defects, and it was just by luck. Our caseworker was on vacation, and they had to bring another caseworker up there.
Wow.
And when he called us in the office, we all came in there one by one. A counselor was in there because it was a male. We couldn't be there by ourselves. And he asked us to disrobe, and we did. And when he saw those bruises and the clothes he was wearing, the fact that we couldn't even have deodorant, he was like, nope, y'all not going back today.
Right.
Get in my car today.
Right.
He signed us out of school, took us right away from Miss Jordan. We never went back to that house.
Wow.
My only, regret is that I wasn't the one to tell, because I was the oldest. My sister had to finally break down, and I can't do it anymore, so, but that's one of my
keep
biggest
reaching
regrets,
out.
right? Keep reaching out. Somebody eventually listen.
So how does this affect you today? Are you still healing from it? Do you feel like you've healed?
I don't think you ever heal from something like that.
Correct, you're right.
You carry it with you forever, but I do think it makes me more weary of people. Like, I can see shit that most folks can't.
Right.
So it do make me a little more weary, but in relationships it do make it look like you're controlling, because you want to be able to control everything around you. And it's hard because you want your woman or your, boyfriend or whatever to have that input. I know from my previous relationships, my ex-girlfriend, like Whitney, would have friends that I could see through their bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I know they meant no good. So I would tell her, like, yo, don't bring them around here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And when she would tell her folks or her family or friends or whatever, they would be like, oh, he controlling.
Mm-hmm.
But every single person I ever tell them ain't shit, turned out to be ain't shit.
Right.
It ain't like I going through what I went through, I can see the bullshit through people. If you tell me something, I can automatically be like, yo, that don't even sound right, But, and then it makes you overprotective as well. You want to protect everything that you love and that you hold dear.
Mm-hmm.
And through that, it becomes more like you out with your friends and I'm calling at 1 o'clock in the morning, like, yo, where you at?
Right. I think anybody will be concerned.
Yeah, but some people do need that breather sometimes.
Yeah, true.
And it's hard to let go. It's hard to say, oh, I trust you, so do what you do.
Okay.
Because when you go through what I went through, man, it's hard to even go to sleep before everybody you love is home that you can protect. So, it don't make it easy, and you still carry that with you. But
so I have a question, and I hope this doesn't make you uncomfortable. I just want this to reach a certain kind of people. The question is, the statement and question is that normally when people experience this kind of abuse, there are some that repeats the abuse. How do you stop the cycle, or what things can you do to prevent from, even if it's being in a relationship with somebody your age, and then maybe the sexual activities may be too aggressive,
Mm-hmm.
or or seeking retaliation,
Mm-hmm.
or things like exactly repeating the habit, um, things along those lines. How do you keep from turning into a monster that a person didn't know they were creating, if that was the case?
It's just all about being able to control yourself. I know
And wait, I'm sorry, I don't even want to use the word monster. I want to say more like, because you're a product of your environment sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
We either have to learn how to filter in and out certain things. So, how do you filter out what the monster did or the person did that committed these acts?
Well, I know for me, I went through that and ended up getting help because my first time being with a woman, I didn't know because I had been living so long in an environment where no didn't mean stop. So when I got with a woman and she was like, no, 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 I kept going. And luckily, thank God that she didn't press charges. We actually dated for a little while. But after a while, she just expressed herself like, look, dude, I like you, but when I say no, can you fucking stop?
Mm.
And so I told my foster mom at the time, and she got me help. I had to go to a sex ed class and get recalibrated on the do's and don'ts of being in a healthy relationship. Um, and that helped. And I did for a while get so angry because through that therapy, I started finding out and realizing that, yo, this shit ain't right. So I wanted to do to them what they did to me. And at that time, I was old enough where I had, a way to get around. And so I knew where Nick kids would stay. And there's plenty of days where I went out there and wanted to grab his daughter and do the same thing to her that was done to us. I just never had the strength to do it.
You didn't need strength. You had the courage to say no.
Yeah,
and
but
not do that.
I always felt like this man was married. This man is married still to the same woman he was married to, and we told her when we was little that he was doing that to us. And her words was, "Well, as long as he ain't doing it to our daughter."
I was just gonna ask you that next.
And she stayed married to him.
Wow.
So, and they're married to this day.
Do you think she didn't believe the story?
No, she believed it.
I'm pretty sure because he's sexually active with her,
right,
which would have showed tendencies
right,
of aggression, obsession, and
And I will
control.
say she never left him alone with her daughter, ever. I've never, when I was around them, never saw him with his daughter by herself. So she believed us. She knew what was going on, and she just was happy what happened to her daughter. And I felt like you got a house, cars, a beautiful wife, 2 kids. Fuck that. Nobody should be that happy you molesting us. And so I wanted to cause him some pain. I just didn't do it. And I keep myself from going to that dark place. I don't trust myself a lot of times. So I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do anything that can alter my mind. Because I know if I was drinking, I probably would have the courage to do it.
Okay. And where would that be coming from? Like the courage to do what? Act out on your anger?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's not something I think about on a day-to-day basis. It's not
Right,
something that controls my life. I just know it's there.
Right.
And knowing that I know it's there, I never let it go for anybody to see.
Do you plan on having kids one day?
Yeah, with the right woman.
Right, okay. And do you think that you would teach them the signs and things to look, because it doesn't have to happen through foster care.
Right.
Kids get kidnapped all the time or misplaced from home, runaways and things of that nature. So do you think that would be like a thing that you can teach without placing your fears on them and it being a healthy course of learning?
I think that'd be the cornerstone of my parenting. You know,
Wow.
don't trust anybody. And anybody that's too friendly, let me know. You know,
Right.
because no molestation or anything like that ever starts off as, yo, here go my dick sucking. You know, it started off as, oh, I might be tickling you, playing with you, getting you comfortable. You know, next thing you know, you sit on their lap. Next thing you know, you, hey, what is that? Why?
And this is the grooming stage.
That's the
correct?
grooming stage. And next thing you know, now you're getting molested. I feel like anybody that's outside my family that's too friendly with my kids, I'll be wary of. You know, you can love somebody, but you should know your limits. Like even with me, I'm a male. I know there's only so far I can go in the world with somebody else's kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's more for me a hey and bye. How you doing? How's school? Keep it moving. You know, I'm an adult. I'm here to see whoever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the ones that get in and they, oh man, how you been? And now they play fighting with your kids. Hey, bro, you here to see me? What's going on here?
Right.
You know, I think those are signs to me, because that's how it started with me. That's how it started with my family.
Right.
So,
and it doesn't take for a particular situation like yours to even be weary of. Like you said, it can be somebody you're dating,
right?
You know, or it can be somebody at school, or it can be somebody at practice, anywhere.
Right.
And these things can take place even with babies, family members babysitting, and that nature. You know, these things can happen and is happening today as we speak right now.
Right. So I always want any kid that I raise to be vocal. You know, and I think a lot of times kids don't trust their parents, so they don't talk. You know, if you're being abused at home or yelled at and all that, and you have that fear of your parents, you're not going to go to them and be like, hey, mom, my basketball coach today patted me on my ass a little too many times. You know, I think he squeezed it a couple times, bro. Can you go there and talk to him? If you're scared of your parents, you're not telling them. So as a parent, man, you want to leave that opening where your kids are comfortable enough to come and tell you, hey, mom, this is what's going on, or hey, dad. But, man, so you know, right now anyway, man, black parents, man, are trying their best to raise kids, especially black mothers, man, especially because a lot of black women are single mothers. You're trying to raise your sons to be strong and you know, not show too many emotions, when sometimes you need that sensitivity to say, hey, mom, listen, I'm scared of this person or that person, or hey, this person said this to me. I think it was a little weird. You know, when you don't have that dialogue with your children, man, they sleep. You know, predators see that.
Wow.
You know, they can sense it. So they know. I know you've been around guys that are older that, you know, some of them just know, I can't talk to her any kind of way. That's how predators are. I know I can't touch that kid, and man, their parents will kill me.
Right.
But they also know, yo, I can touch that kid because he's
that parent
terrified
isn't paying
of
attention, or
especially as single parents, man, you working 2-3 jobs. You know, you're trying to teach your kids to grow up quick. So predators see that, and they take advantage of it. So be present, man. You gotta be present in your kids' lives. Otherwise, they'll slip through the cracks, and you don't know what the world don't care about them.
My God.
So.
But those are all the questions that I have for you today. I truly, truly, truly appreciate you for sharing your story. That shows great strength. It shows that you are healing from it. And the fact that you want to share and help someone else, you know, I know you weren't thinking about someone else, you know, before you came, but to like, if you don't know, this can help so many people. And even if it's just one, like, I'm so big on that. I'm completely blown away, and I really, really, really appreciate you.
Of course.
I really do. And I'm sorry that happened. And I hope that your future makes up for your loss, your pain, and your suffering. There you have it. We have Devontae in the building. This is the life behind his lens. And if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. This man deserves a round of applause, and just to keep, you know, supporting and keeping someone like him in your prayers. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and taking the time to listen and be a part of this experience. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye bye.